Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So it's official. Hiroki Ito has officially joined Bayern. And let's be completely honest, all right? We knew this yesterday. It wasn't official yesterday, but we knew it yesterday. Now it is official. Now we've got all the figures. Now we've got the deal. Now we've got the words from Bayern itself. So I thought, you know what? Let's run through all of that. So just a little bit of a timeline here is that we have been looking at Jonathan Tah for the past couple of weeks. You know, every single day we get new information about him potentially to Bayern, and then suddenly out of nowhere yesterday around like 6 p.m. boom, Hiroki Ito. Bayern have signed, or Bayern are looking at signing Hiroki Ito. Just like out of nowhere, we've apparently triggered his release clause, and now he's signed. So we're gonna run through it. Today, officially, the news came out, and Bayern announces it as well. The official statement. I'll read it to you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So this from the official Bayern website. All right. FC Bayern have completed the signing of defender Hiroki Ito from VfB Stuttgart. The 25-year-old Japan international has put pen to paper on a contract with the German record champions until the 30th of June 2028. Max Eberl, FC Bayern board member for Sport. We're delighted that we've signed Hiroki Ito for FC Bayern. We want hungry players who are going to bring in fresh energy, and Hiroki has everything we want. He's a player who embraces challenges, overcomes them, and continues to make his way in the game. He already has a lot of experience for a 25-year-old and can handle pressure, whether it's on a relegation playoff or when playing for the Champions League. He'll really strengthen us right away, and that's sort of that goes a little bit in the lines of what I was saying yesterday, where you've got a player that has seen it all. Seen it all, maybe a bit of a stretch, but that has seen a lot. He's handled a lot. He's dealt with adversaries. He's dealt with, playing for a team that has actual expectations, whether it's not to lose or expectations to go as far as possible while not being able to win. And those things, they do typically translate very well into the Bundesliga, into a player for Bayern, because it's a player that, if you've dealt with the stress of a relegation battle, you're more likely to be able to handle the battles that come, so to speak, with the challenges of a title fight, so to speak. So that's sort of what I'm talking about. And Max, it's very good to see that Max Eberl sort of things on the same lines as me, has the same viewpoints as me, and is going forward with that same idea. Then Christian Freund, FC Bayern sporting director, says Hiroki Ito was reliability personified at VfB Stuttgart. He produced consistent performances at a top level, which attracted the attention of several big clubs. Hiroki is tall, aggressive, has a strong left foot, an excellent passing game, and is versatile in defense because he can play on both the left side as well as centrally. He came to Germany as a young player, has made great progress, and we're sure that there's still further potential in him. Hiroki Ito himself had this to say: "It's a great honor for me to be able to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. FC Bayern is also a big name in Japan. I always gave my all for VfB Stuttgart, and I'm grateful for the club. Now I'm looking forward to the challenge in Munich, and I want to play my part in FC Bayern winning lots of trophies. It was time to take a new step, and for me, FC Bayern is the perfect club to do so." And then you've got a few images of him, and then you just got the Bayern writer saying Ito took his first steps as a footballer in the youth system of Japanese top-flight club Jubilo Iwata, where he signed his first professional contract in 2018. Ito made a total of 60 league appearances for Jubilo Iwata and on loan for Nagoya Grampus, where he scored 4 goals. Before joining Stuttgart ahead of 2021-2022 season. He featured in 97 competitive games for the Swabians, scoring 2 goals. Having represented his country at youth level, Ito made his senior debut for Japan in June 2022 and has since gone on to amass 19 caps and 1 goal. He also featured at the 2022 World Cup, where his team reached the knockout stages and lost narrowly on penalties to Croatia in the round of 16. And that is all you need to know about Hiroki Ito. Now, I talked about him a little bit yesterday, just stating, that he is a player that sort of personifies what I would consider to be a lot of solid fundamentals. I think he's good at everything, and I think there are some areas where you could say, well, he could be great at. And so to me, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, they've clearly identified a lot of things. Now, here's just my thoughts on him as someone that has been a fan of his for a while now. I wouldn't say like I watch, his game religiously or anything like that. Like I'm not, pretending that I'm like, the biggest fan that, that exists, or that I'm like following every single game, but I have seen a large majority of games of his because, again, I am a fan, not a mega fan, obviously, but I am a fan of his. That doesn't mean that I think he's good enough for Bayern, by the way, just saying. There's plenty of players that I'm a fan of that I wouldn't want Bayern to sign, just putting that out there. But in this case, I do think this was a wise move by Bayern. One, it came out of nowhere, which is always very, very good in my opinion. I do like the moves where, where you're off social media for a couple of hours and then suddenly, bang, in your face, it's just like, okay, we've now signed this person. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? These are, in my personal humble opinion, these are my favorite type of transfers, okay? But in this case, I like it as well because it's a left-footed centre-back. Someone that can play as a left centre-back, which is very, very crucial to me because it's something that we've been lacking. It's straight up, it's something that we've been lacking. Now, again, we're not going to talk necessarily about who could replace him, so on and so forth. That is all things that we will see as, the days progress and as the time moves on. But I do like the fact that it's a 4-year contract. I think it would have been nicer if it was a 5-year contract. But based on all the rumors, I don't know how much he's actually earning. So I'll try and figure that out. But again, because we're triggering a release clause, you don't have the agents. I don't think you have agent fees when it's a release clause. I might be wrong here, so someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm just trying to figure out how much he's earning. Not that, it matters to me necessarily. So it says here, in this, by the way, this is from Kicker. Kicker isn't as reliable when it comes to buying, as you all know, I think. But we'll sign for you. So the fixed fee is 23 million euros with performance-related add-ons that can take it to 28. The Japanese is mainly planned as a left centre-back, but can also help out as a left-back, which is obviously very key because, I have this contract situation with Alphonso Davies currently going on. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, in terms of where, here's my thing, right? We've not talked about Vincent Kompany at all because I've not made videos recently. That may change now because the Euros have started. So that was always the plan. But now the Euros have started. The new season is, in my opinion, it's now officially upon us. But yeah, my thing is this, right? I've said this before. For me, what's important is that whatever the coach wants, we give him. We actually put the manager in a position where he can succeed. That's what I want. I want Vincent Kompany. I want whoever he wants, whoever he doesn't want, even if it's, even if it goes against my better nature, which I, think a lot of the rumors go against my better nature, because I would never even consider selling Kimmich. I'll be honest, never in a million years. He's one of like the 3 untouchable players, and the other 2 untouchable players are those that are planning that. Yeah, I'm thinking are retiring in a year or 2. So that's how important Kimmich is to me, I guess. But hey, if that's who Vincent Kompany wants gone, that's who we should get rid of, right? That's my thoughts. If he wants someone, get him that person. If he wants someone to go, let that person walk. And the reason why is because then that no one can say that he wasn't supported, that he didn't get what he wanted, and that he was set up to fail. Which a lot of people have said about Tuchel, that Tuchel was set up to fail because he wanted one thing and one thing only, and that was a defensively minded midfielder, and he didn't get that. And then Pavlovich had to grow into that role, which he did a very fine job at, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't ideal for him to succeed. And so, some people are saying, well, we sort of set him up to fail. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Do I think the football was great? No. Did we set him up to succeed? No. And so I want Vincent Kompany to get everything that he wants. And I want, if you want someone gone, get rid of that person, even if it's against my nature. If you want someone signed, get him that player. Now, this one, according to Fabrizio Romano, who, how reliable is Fabrizio at this day and age? That's up to you. I think he's still very reliable. Does he steal stuff? Of course he does. But as they say, good artists copy, great artists steal, and so I don't really care. But apparently Vincent Kompany was consulted and approved the move because he believes Ito is a player who can help in different positions. So That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to see. How will he fit in? Will he be a starter? Will he be off for the bench? He's not that young anymore, but you know, compared to like our other, he's actually at the same age as like our other defenders. So he's actually, you know, in that perfect age where he can still get significantly better, but he's also young enough to where, like, you know, if we were to sell him in the future, because it doesn't work out, there would be enough suitable, you know, there would be enough suitors out there. So I'm very happy with that move. I think the fee is fine. I know some people have said it's a bit much. Some people have said it's not, you know, it is actually really cheap. I think it's actually like, it hits that sweet spot. I just think it looks really cheap because we've spent like 80 million each season or 70 million each season on a centre back, and now actually getting one for like 30 million just looks very good in comparison. And I think, you know, quality wise, I don't think he's that much worse. I don't think his issue is that he doesn't have anything that that stands out. That's my thing. I don't think there's anything that really stands out that he does. I think he's just a very, very good all-rounder. I think he's better than Eric Dyer. Then again, I think Eric Dyer was our best defender this year. So if he's better, then next season, I think it's very solid. I think, you know, I'm not going to say it, but I think you have a very good partnership with like Ito. I can imagine Ito doing really well with someone like Meccano, because Meccano is like the more gifted one, but he's also error prone, whereas Ito is more solid, and he, you know, he's good at everything. You know, sort of in a way, who he reminds me of is like a. And I'm going to be careful what I say. I'm going to be very careful how I word this, rather. He reminds me of a Lucas Hernandez, where you could never say like Lucas Hernandez was like amazing at one thing, but he was good at everything. I'd even go further and say he was great at everything. I think that's sort of who Ito can develop into. He's still, you know, he's still relatively young in his like professional, like European career. And so there's a lot of growth. You know what? Benjamin Pavard. I think that might be a better comparison. He's a left-footed Benjamin Pavard. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, look, I was going to have this as a stream. Unfortunately, the thing that I use, which is StreamYard, just didn't work out at all for me. So I was going to have people on, you know, to share their thoughts. It didn't work out at all, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, this is going to just be a video. There's no stream. There's no different thoughts. There's no different views. I'm going to enjoy my... King the Penguin, and that's all I have to say. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen, and see you next time. Bye.